Hey guys, thank you for coming back. This is Candace Hunter of Clee Art, and we are here for the third part of mark making, and the third part is meditation through mark making. So I'm Candace Hunter, Clee Art. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, or on my website, www.cleart.com. So we're going to do a little meditation with mark making. Now, I started doing this kind of work several years back. I had a series that was called Prayer Circles, Sacred Texts, and Abstract Thought. Behind me, I have the very first prayer circle that I made. And if you can see, I don't know, maybe we can get a little closer on it. I started here in the center and I did these concentric circles that went around and around and around. And while I was doing it, I said the Lord's Prayer. I said the Lord's Prayer from about 6 in the morning to about midnight, except for water and potty breaks. And when I finished, I was finished. And I had been experiencing anxiety, and it was gone when I finished the piece. Since then, I did prayer circles with actual prayers, and I did the abstracted pieces. The actual prayers, I did all 150 of the Psalms. I did peace prayers from 7 different religious traditions, and some of the Proverbs. The shows went into sacred spaces, and we had 3 shows a year for 3 years, and it was really an exciting thing. So, we're in Chicago, Illinois, and we have a stay-at-home or shelter-in-place or some other things that our mayor, Lori Lightfoot, has said about keeping you at home. And so we are here, and there was a joke on Facebook with someone, I don't remember who said it. She says, well, when this quarantine is over, we're all going to figure out whose hair color is really whose hair color. So as you can see, I have a lovely crown of gray that I didn't even know I had. So when this quarantine is over, I'm on my way to Walgreens to buy some dye. But until then, we're going to do some mark making, and we're going to meditate with that. So in the first class, I talked to you about holding your pen or pencil, that normally when you're making marks in art and you're drawing, I want you to hold your implement back in the back so that your wrist is really working. So you can create the marks freely using your wrist, your arm. But for today, what we're doing, I want you to hold it like you're writing your signature. And I want you to start in the center, and I just want you to draw a circle. Everybody can draw a circle. I want you to draw another circle closely behind. I want you to draw another circle closely behind. I want you to draw another circle closely behind. I want you to draw another circle closely behind. I want you to draw another circle closely behind. I want you to draw another circle closely behind until you've created a circle with your circles. And you're going to continue to do these for 10 minutes. And that will be our meditation for this evening. When you start to do this meditation, put on some music, light a candle. The candle that I have, it smells so wonderful, is Afro Love by Rob Welch. He has a line of candles that are called Coretta and Harriet. Afro Love. Oh, it smells so good. So I usually light a candle. I'll put a watch out so I can see my time. And I do these circles closely, one upon another. So the music that I chose, once again, is the glorious D. Alexander. We have permission to use D for these classes during quarantine time. I would also like to share with you guys that, I'm in Chicago, right? Chicago, Illinois, the home of Mayor Lori Lightfoot. Yay, go Mayor. And the Department of Cultural Affairs announced yesterday those artists who have received monetary grants. These are not relief grants. These they applied for several months back. And this year, for the first time, these grants are just not only for specific projects, but for what those artists have meant to the city of Chicago. And so they've honored 10 artists, I believe, with what they're calling esteemed grants. And I am happy to report that our lovely D. Alexander is one of those esteemed artists. I also would like to say that, what a lucky duck I am, that at least 3 of the esteemed artists of Chicago are people that I consider really wonderful friends. So, of course, I told you, D. I'd like to congratulate Sandra Jackson Opoku and my girl, Sadie Woods. Go, ladies, go, sisters, go, friends. Do what you do. You do it so well, and Chicago is so proud of you. So yay to them, and to all of the other artists who have won awards this year. So again, we're very close on our circles. We want to keep them close. Now, if you're not used to doing this kind of work, your finger may hurt right here, your wrist may hurt. Just shake it out for a moment and go back. But I'm going to ask you, when you stop to shake your hand or your fingers, that you keep your eye on the circle. The circle is what's going to guide your thought and your breath. Sometime you might get to a point and you realize that you would hold your breath. Just stop. Let it out and pull it back in. Usually when we've held our breath, that means we were trying to hold on to something that may not be that good for us. So we want to intentionally let that breath out and think about bringing our breath in with each circle and letting it out with each circle. Circles represent something that has no beginning and no end. It is the Alpha and the Omega. In most religious traditions, that higher power is compared to infinity. The idea of a wedding band that is a circle of gold represents entering into a bond that has no beginning and no end. Oh, Dee's voice is so beautiful. I did this kind of meditation workshop. The group of young educators down in Champaign-Urbana, I believe it was 2 years ago. Oh, wow. I just realized it was on Illinois Water Day, which is April the 12th. So almost 2 years ago. And we did this as a meditation for water, for the abundance of water, for the abundance of potable waters for every woman, child, man, brother, father, mother in the world. We just continue these small circles and place our thoughts there, finishing, starting and finishing, starting and finishing, starting and finishing. Each wish, each thought is complete with the open and close of each circle. And of course, our circle never finishes because we're actually going around in a spiral. So, as you shelter in place, or you're quarantined, or you're just at home with your first love, which is yourself or your loved ones, if you're starting to feel a little bit of unease or unrest, take out your book or your paper and go back and give yourself the freedom and the joy to do 10 more minutes. Go to wherever you left off. Settle yourself. Turn on your music. And make your marks. Well, my loves, that's 10 minutes. Whenever you're feeling that way, come back, continue it, fill up this page, heck, fill up another page. Maybe by this time the quarantine is over, you will filled up a whole notebook. But I promise you that every time you give 10 minutes, or say you want to decide you want to do 20 minutes, but I promise you, your hand's going to hurt. So do 10 minutes at a time. Think of an intention while you do this. A prayer, a poem. Play a piece of music that you like. Light a candle. Think of being close in a time when we cannot. All right, my darlings, this was part 3 of mark making. Possibly next week I can come back to you and we can do, I don't know what, monoprints. If you're excited about the thought of a monoprint, I promise you it's something that you can do in your home with supplies that you have already. If you want to do that with me, leave me a note below, and wherever you're watching this, leave me a note and say, yes, I want to do monoprints. If you've enjoyed this or any of the other classes that I've taught, let me know, because I don't know. Tell me. Okay? Thank you. Good night or good afternoon, or as I want to say most times, good morning.